Hello, Hamlin County. My name's Ryan, and this is a quick tutorial on 1st District's MapNet GIS sites. We have one of these created for Hamlin County, and I would like to show you quickly how to use that today. As you see up in the upper left corner, you can see 1stdistrictmapnet.com is the URL that you are going to want to use to get to our jumping off point for our websites. Once this loads, we can scroll down, and these are all of the different websites that we are currently hosting. Because we are working in Hamlin County today, I'm going to click on the Hamlin MapNet site, and that's going to open up a new browser window. Welcome to Hamlin County MapNet, and this is what it looks like. Before you go any further, I would suggest bookmarking this page. If you bookmark this page, it'll take you directly back here instead of having to go through the 1st District MapNet page. So if you're going to be using Hamlin County's site a lot, this is the one you want to bookmark. In order to get around on the Hamlin site, it's really easy to do. If you want to zoom in, you can roll your mouse in to HETI here, and it'll redraw. You can also click and hold, and it will move the map whichever direction you drag it. You can roll out to zoom out. You can also use the buttons on the left, which will zoom you back to previous extent, or you can zoom in, or you can use the zoom out button. You can even go back to full extent, and that will take us all the way out to the entirety of Hamlin County. One more button that I can't use here because I'm on a web browser on my computer is the locate me function. However, if you are using this website on your mobile device, the locate me button will zoom you directly into where you are using the GPS in your phone. That's a very handy tool to have if you're out and about and you'd like to use this data and see what's nearby. The next thing that I would like to do before we go any further, because we are working in Hamlin County, and this tutorial is designed for people that are employees of Hamlin County, the first thing you should do is sign in. So I'm going to click the sign in button right here about in the middle, and you can see I have one. It's my email address along with a password, so we'll sign into that. If you don't have a username and password and you work with or for Hamlin County, just give us a call and we'll be happy to set you up with one. I think every county commissioner and every employee should have access to this site. So shoot us up an email or give us a call at 882-5115, and we'll get you a login. The map that we have as our default works okay, and it draws quickly in a pinch if you're looking up something quickly, but I like to change mine. I like to have more detail. So I'll do that one more time. I like to go to Maps and go down to my map layers, and I like to change up the look of my website. So the first thing I'm going to do is scroll down and shut off the county base map. That's that yellowish map in the back. And I like to turn on my 2020 FSA imagery. As you can see, we have imagery files going all the way back to 2008. They generally do one every 2 years. These are nice historic data. The 2020 FSA imagery is the most current, and it looks pretty good. So this is the one that I like to have turned on. From there, I like to click the plus button just to the left of the map layers, and this is all of the map data that we have available for Hamlin County. As we're out here, I'll open up the flood data, and just to show you an interesting thing with the GIS data is we'll turn on the 2007 FEMA flood zones, and that's what they look like. And now we'll turn on the proposed 100-year flood zone. And as you can see, the flood analysis people have been doing a lot of work. So there's a lot of additional floodplain data in Hamlin County, and all of this is available and can be used on this website. From here, we'll open up cadastral. We can see that the Hamlin parcels are already on. You can turn on Hamlin plats. This is mostly for communities. You'll see additional plat information. You can see lot numbers if you zoom in tight. I believe we'll go in close to HETI here. And you can see all the little green lines show up and see how they're all the lots are labeled as well. So that's handy. We also use address plats. Address plats is primarily for the 911 coordinator when we create new addresses for development. We'll zoom out a bit. I'll shut off the plats. We'll turn on the NRCS soils as well. This is the soils data that we use to do assessments. So this is all of the soils data, and they are labeled with the soil symbol. So this is also a layer that's going to get a lot of use. We'll flip on our transportation, and I like to turn on railroads, interstate, state and federal highways, and my roads. We also have 911 roads as well. The roads gives you the name, and it also gives us an idea as to what the surface type is. And I like to leave those turned on. Our political boundaries, we already have our townships and sections on. Let's zoom out. Let's just pull out, and let's turn on school districts. You can see the different school districts for Hamlin County. And we can also shut those off and turn on voting districts. So we have voting districts as well. If you turn on the city boundary polygons, they're labeled so we can see the town names. But I like to leave those off and just see the city boundary lines. For water features, you can turn on lakes. We have rivers and creeks as well. But I'll shut those off. We'll also turn on the first occurrence to aquifer materials map. This came from South Dakota Geologic Survey. Lastly, this is all of our planning and zoning information that's out there. So we can turn these on and use them, including the Garfield Dairy outline, which is right down here. There's very little that we can't put on the county website. All you have to do is give us a call. If there's data layers out there that are missing or something that you want to see, let us know, and we will do what we can to put it on there. Unlike other GIS website providers, we don't charge for that sort of thing. Other providers would be more than happy to charge you $1,000 or $2,500 to add layers to your website. We don't do that. If you want it on there, we'll put it on. The last thing that I'm going to do while I'm here, I have this looking the way I want it to look. So I'm going to do a save layer settings. If you save your layer settings, as long as you don't clear your browser history, the next time you open up Hamlin County, this is what the information, or this is what the website will look like. So you don't have to go back and make these changes every time. It'll always go back to what you will want the data to look like. Once we've gotten the map to look the way we want it to look, now we can start using the website to do some searches. It's really easy to search for people. All you have to do is click on the search field and you can type in a name. I typed in Joan, and we're getting all the different Joneses that live in Hamlin County. And if you click on one, we can zoom directly to those. And once we do that, we can see additional property information just by scrolling down on the list to the left. We can also do an identify, and that will also select the data for us. And once you're zoomed into this area, you can do a property report. Hamlin County does indeed have a property card, and this is what it looks like. There's not a ton of information on it yet, but it does have some good basic information. We can see owner name, address, city, state, zip. We also have what the legal information, or what the legal acres are. We also have assessed value. So there are a lot of people that I believe would be interested in having this information. The only thing that we're missing here is historical data. And as of right now, we're waiting for Hamlin County. Once that data becomes available, we can take that information and add it to the website to fill the rest of our property card information. But as you can see, that comes up in a separate web tab, so we don't lose where we're at. Another thing that you can do while you're searching, you can do a select on the map. The selectable layer we always have default is Hamlin parcels. One of the things that you can do is select all parcels within a certain distance of the parcel you select. So if there is a zoning change for this fella right here, and we click on it, this will select all the parcels we have within 500 feet. And here they are. There are 47 parcels that were within 500 feet of that can be notified. We can go to our table view and we can look at all the people. This is information. If you want to, we can zoom to each one of these. If you click on this button right here, this is going to take us directly to the table record that we clicked on. So that is a good way to be looking at the data and relate it back to the map. Another thing that we can do, we can export this out to a comma separated values table. This is essentially an Excel spreadsheet. They call it comma separated values, or CSV for short, but we can double click this and this is going to open up our information in a spreadsheet. And lastly, we can create mailing labels. And this is very quick. This will bring up our mailing labels. So if you want to notify a lot of people of a zoning change, all you have to do is select that, and this will create your mailing labels for you, and you can click print, and a lot of your work is done. You can also, here, let's go back to our select. We'll shut this off. We can select by line. If you wanted to, just select just a few features by line, we can do that. As you can see, here are the details as well. We can clear that. We can even select by shape if you wanted to. Select a fairly odd shape, we can do that as well. So we wound up getting the right of way in there, but so selecting the features is a pretty easy thing to do. Another thing that I would like to show you is our advanced search. And that is right here under advanced search. So, for example, if you wanted to select some more records, but you wanted to do it in a different way, advanced search works quite well. Just as an example, we can go down to town and township, contains, and I've been using Garfield. Oops, if you spell it right, it helps. Township name, town and township contains Garfield, and we'll select that. And this selected all of the parcels in Garfield Township. Notice that it didn't select all of the parcels in the city of Bryant, because we can go back to our advanced search and we can change that as well. And now we've selected all of the parcels inside the city of Bryant. And as I mentioned, if you wanted to make this a table, it's very easy to export out all the parcels in the city of Bryant and provide that to someone else. One of the features that is very handy is our community info feature. So for our tools, there are a couple different ways you can get there. You can go to tools and go down to community info, and this will allow you to click on a parcel, and this is going to give us a lot of information associated. We've already seen the parcel information, but this will tell you, is the information in the 2007 FEMA flood zone, and the answer is no, not available. It also gives us information regarding voters, what district it's in, but the big one that I want to touch on is soil types. If you do a community info, this is going to give you all of the soil types that are inside that parcel. And if you add up the acres of these soil types, it will add up to the deeded acres that are on the property card. So it doesn't calculate to geographic acres, it calculates to deeded acres. And this is very important when the assessors are doing their assessments. So that's how you get there. And from here, you can print that. And here is their soil report right there. All the acres of each soil type. And you can export that out to a PDF or just print it out to your printer. The next thing that I would like to talk about is our measuring tools. So we can measure on the map. One of the things that's very handy is just getting a simple latitude and longitude, and you can do that right here. So we can scroll down here. Say, for example, Dave Schaefer was going to assign an address to a new property that was being built here. All you'd have to do is click there, and it'll put a pin, and as you can see, we have lat and long for decimal degrees. It's really easy just to hold your left mouse click down, drag it across that, right click and copy that, and then you can paste that directly into an email and say, this is the location of the new residence. And you can change that to degrees or decimal degrees or degrees, minutes, and seconds. You can also change our result to degrees, minutes, and seconds if you want to, or decimal degrees. But honestly, decimal degrees is the one that I like to use. Pretty straightforward. Another thing that we can do is we can measure. So if we wanted to measure distances from one home to another, for example, or one building to another, you can see up on top there's 1,339 feet. We can also change that to yards, 446 yards. It'll also change it to miles. So very handy. Another thing that we can do is we can also measure area. If we wanted to measure this low area, for example, and see the number of acres that they have, it'd be pretty easy for us to just draw our boundary around a pothole, and we would get a fairly accurate estimate as to how many acres it is. And we can change that to square feet if we want to. Hectares, if you're so inclined. I tend to stick with acres myself when I'm doing area of this size. I believe the last thing that I will show you is our drawing tools. We have a lot of different tools we can use to draw on the map. And I'll clear that because I didn't want to do that. But let's just click off that, and I'm going to zoom into an area. Say we were going to add a shed to this area. We could go down and click on our drawing tools, and we could do a quick shape rectangle, and let's make it silver, and we'll change the outline size to 4, and we'll just draw a box in here, and this would be the area of our new shed. And if we wanted to put a fence around it as well, we could use the line and change this maybe to blue and go from a solid line to a dash. And if you wanted to put a fence up, maybe around the edge of the trees, and let's just double click right there. This would put a fence up, or whatever you would like to draw in. Of course, you can put a point in, and we can make it a purple diamond, and we can change the size. And the last thing that we could do is we could add some text. enter a new shed. Make it fair size. You can change the fonts. I like how they have bold and bolder. Let's make that 18. And then all you do, once it's here, you just run this to about where you want to put it. And there it is. If you don't like where it is, undo. And maybe put it right here. And when you're all done with this, it is simple enough to print. We can just click the print. And as you can see, this box changes. So we can change it from portrait to landscape. I think I'm going to leave it as portrait this time. But you can either print that out to a printer, or you can create a PDF. I like to create PDFs. Because they look cleaner. And once you do that, it's going to pop up your new PDF in a separate window. And here it is. As you can see, I added a title, and we have all of our drawing, the date. It also throws a default scale bar in there as well. And this can be emailed to someone else. Just a little pro tip for you. If you don't want to go through the trouble of making it a PDF, one of the things that you can do is use the snippet tool. And this is a tool that comes standard on most PCs. And how do you activate it is, once you get your work the way you want it to, you simply hit Windows, Shift S. And as you can see, this little button right here pops up. And all this is letting me do is take a snippet of the area that I want to look, or that I want to see, and it made a copy of that. And now what I can do, if I want to create a new email, you just go into the email and you paste it. Right click and paste picture. Let's just maximize this. And that is just a very quick way to take the information from your GIS website, or anything for that matter, and email it to someone else. I've been using the snippet tool, and it has been a lifesaver for me. So that is not a part of GIS. That's just a tool that you could be using. At any rate, that is my presentation. If there are any questions or comments, feel free to get a hold of me, Ryan, at firstdistrict.org, or at our phone number, 882-5115. I hope that you found this useful, and I look forward to speaking with you. Thank you.